Let's do this.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm pumped.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right, let's do this.
All right, let's do this.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Let's do this.
Now let's do this.
Let's do it.
This is the Coaching Life Podcast, and I'm one of your hosts, Chris Stewart, and I am not joined by my co-host, Coach Pat Martin, today, but I'm going to try to give him a call here in just a minute. As many of you know who listen to us on a regular basis, we are both in the middle of the high school baseball season right now. Pat and I are both coaching a high school baseball team. And so we have kind of scaled back our recording of this podcast to put something out every 2 weeks rather than every week. And we've been pretty faithful to bring you a podcast once a week. We had a little bit of a break last summer where we took about a couple of months off and then came back. I think we lost a few listeners during that time, but hopefully we've gained some new ones, or maybe brought some back as we've put some new material out there. But the goal of this podcast is to just go out to anyone who is coaching a youth sport, an amateur sport, playing the amateur sport, or but playing a youth sport. We feel like we could have listeners as young as 7, 8 years old if you want to have your kids listen to this. It's a clean podcast, a family-friendly podcast where we talk about issues that would be relevant to them. Of course, it might be a little boring to them. I don't know what the attention span is for your child. I mean, I guarantee we go a little bit long sometimes, but there's some helpful stuff that you might be able to give to your kids. But we also really want to make sure that we get this podcast out and the things that we discuss here out to parents and families especially. And some of you all may not even realize how this thing started. If you have just begun listening to us and you started listening at the most recent episode, for example, in the last year, in the last 2 or 3 months, or the last 6 months perhaps, and you haven't gone back all the way to the beginning to listen to the first few episodes, I'll be honest with you, we did not intend to continue recording a podcast that would take us to episode 122, which is what today's number is. We basically started recording a series of podcasts that we thought would be about 6 or 7 episodes. And the reason why was because he and I were having conversations a few years ago about the nature of specifically youth baseball and some ideas that we wanted to just sort of hash out together. And we sat behind a microphone and recorded those ideas, and we basically put together a plan for a potential player development program that we felt like could be utilized in any given locale, any given community. And some of our thoughts and ideas were a little lofty in terms of dreams and dreaming of what we feel like an ideal youth baseball organization would be. And we feel like that in many ways over the past few years, as we've looked out over the landscape of youth sports, or particularly youth baseball and softball programs in different communities, that some of these things have actually been done, like they've been put into place. And it's not that people listened to our podcast and took our ideas and ran with them. We're not suggesting that at all. But what I'm saying is we are not the only ones who were thinking some of these things. We are not the only ones who have observed some of the changes, I guess you could say, that are needed in our youth sports and some of the dynamics that we were seeing in youth sports. Now, a lot has happened between then and today. A lot has happened not just in our lives personally, but in the world. As you know, all of us have walked through, the entire world has walked through the COVID-19 pandemic. But we still continue on today. And this podcast has sort of evolved, I guess you can say, to be more generalized in nature and talking about youth sports and families who bring up kids in athletics. And in many ways, we will tell stories of some of the failures that we have had as parents, as fathers, and as coaches, and also as fathers who coach, who happen to be coaches as well. And our goal is always to just be helpful, to be useful, to provide something that might cause somebody to say, you know what, I do that, or I see that in myself, or maybe the response is, boy, I'm glad I don't do that. I'm glad I'm not like that. I'm glad I'm not like those guys. And whatever it is, if we can help you just with one aspect of being a better person, a better coach, a better player, a better dad, a better mom, a better grandparent, whatever it is that we could do, that's just our goal. That's just our goal. So I'm sending a text to Pat right now, okay, as I'm talking to you, because here's the situation. Here's where we're at right now at the time of recording. It is Tuesday morning, our normal time slot for recording the podcast, and today we both have a rescheduled high school baseball game. We are both of our leagues that we're in separate leagues, but we both have conference games on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And there is no set rule for rescheduling those games whenever they're canceled, but the priority is as soon as possible. That's the goal. Get it rescheduled as soon as possible. So as soon as the earliest time that both teams have an open date makes the most sense to reschedule that. Well, if you have been anywhere near the Great Lakes region of the country, you know that we have received a significant amount of rain over the past 3 weeks, which ironically enough has been the length of the baseball season so far in terms of from opening day to now. We're 2.5 weeks into the season. And I'll say this, I've been really fortunate. My team has gotten in 7 games. We're sitting at a record today of 4-3. And so the fact is we've actually played more games than a lot of teams in our area. And a lot of that's because we had 6 games scheduled in the first week of the season, which is, don't do that, by the way, coaches. I feel like I put my team in a bad place by scheduling that many games early on, and we dealt with some injuries and everything during that week as well. And so it was even more added stress in terms of the way I slept during that first week. But then after the first week of playing a ton of games and guys being really worn out, the next week it rained and we played 1 game. And then this week we haven't played any games yet. And so we have a couple of games to reschedule. Tonight we were supposed to play, but not only did it rain all day yesterday, it rained last night as well. And the forecast today doesn't have rain, or as much rain, I should say, or as much chance for rain. So I don't think we're going to get rain today. But it's not sunny and it's not windy. And so it's cloudy and it's tough for the field to dry out. And that's where Pat's at today, because his game is a home game. My game is on the road. And so I don't have to get our field ready necessarily, unless I hear from them that they absolutely cannot play on their field. Then we would do everything we could to try to play at ours. But on these days like this, it's better to play on the road. I'll just be really honest. I'd rather have an away game. It's, you show up to the field, you get on the bus, you go and play at somebody else's field that they've spent 2.5 hours, 3 hours, or maybe the entire day getting ready to play, and then you tear up their field because it's still muddy. You get back on the bus, you go home. Sometimes it's better in high school baseball to play an away game, unless you have turf at your home field, then you just show up and play there at your place. But people don't realize that high school baseball coaches, they don't just arrive at the facility. Well, for the most part, I don't know, maybe, I'm sure it happened in Texas or places, some of maybe the larger schools. We live in a small rural area. And so most of our schools, even from Division II, which is the second largest school district in Ohio in terms of baseball, most of those, your coaching staff and your players are also your field crew, and there might be some larger schools that have other people that have become involved in things like that, or maybe even smaller schools that have these people as well that get involved in doing the field for you. But all the baseball coaches I know, we are the field managers as well. We take care of the field, mow it, line it, get it ready, fundraise for it, pour into it every bit of resource that we can find. And so that's actually what Pat's doing right now. He is out on his field getting ready to hopefully have a baseball game tonight. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give him a quick FaceTime call. And let's see if this works here. Okay, here we go. What's up?
What's going on?
We're on. I'm recording you right now. How's it going there?
You got that sensor button?
Hang on, let me see. Let me see if I've got that. Which one is it? There it is. All right, go ahead.
I'm out here on this so wet.
I just told people. So I came in here and started recording before I called you. And I just told people, I gave everybody a little bit of a summary of what our podcast is like. And I said that it's family friendly. You could have your 7 and 8 year olds listen to it. So now you're making me out to be a liar having to use the censor button.
Yeah, well, a lot of things have changed this spring for the coaching life.
Indeed. Whew, it looks cloudy there. I'm looking at, so we're FaceTime calling here.
Yeah, no rain to go. I'm on my way to get a sump pump to get the water out of the grass.
Oh, you really are. You're being serious.
I'm not kidding.
What do you think? What are the chances? So it's right now, as of right now, it's 10:38 a.m. So you still have a couple of hours before afternoon comes. I don't think you're going to get much sun or wind.
It's been sunshiny.
Oh, good.
Here. I don't think we're going to get a lot of rain or a lot of wind. If we get any rain, there's no chance. But so yeah, I was heading to pick up a sump pump.
Well, we'll leave you to it. I'm actually not gonna record very long. We're looking at a 15-minute episode here today for this.
What are we talking about? What's the topic?
Pivoting, flexibility, handling things that are out of your control.
That sounds reasonable at this time. Are you guys playing? Are you still going? Are you good?
See, here's the beauty of it. We have an away game. I haven't heard yet. I heard yesterday from the coach that we're playing that their field does drain very well. He said actually surprisingly well. And so he was really confident that we could play yesterday. He was a lot more confident than I was in that respect. But I am assuming that if we don't have any rain, if they don't have any rain at their facility, that we should be on. So no news is good news at this point. But here's the beauty of it, Pat. This is why playing away games is a lot better. I just mentioned that before I called you. As I was waiting on your response, I was telling everybody, hey, listen, in our area, where we're from, every high school baseball coach I know in our area is also the field maintenance guy. And so it's sometimes a lot easier, a lot better to play away games, get on the bus, go and play, and let somebody else do all that work. Oh, I lost you.
Oh, I'm not here anymore?
You're back.
Can you hear my voice?
There you are, yep. You don't have good service out there at your school, do you? Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, well, I thought this would work. It's not working. You have fun. I'll be in touch with you later today. You have fun getting that field ready. Maybe you and I can get together at some point within the next week and put out another episode for everybody. Good luck tonight.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep. Have fun with that home game. Yeah. The clouds in the sky apparently are keeping him from being able to connect with me. So there you have it. Coach Martin's on his way to get a sump pump to get the water off of his grass. It's just the beauty of spring baseball in this state. So listen, we hope everybody is having a good start to your spring. This week is Passion Week. Those of you that listen to us know that Pat and I are both believers in Christ. We're Christians, and leading up to this week, going into Friday as Good Friday, and then Sunday as Resurrection Sunday. And if you celebrate that with your family, then we hope that you have a really blessed weekend where you are able to just enjoy time with your family this Easter. Enjoy the love of Christ and the fellowship of your church and that extended family and all those folks that you get to connect with there. And we hope that you get to play some ball. If you're getting ready for the youth baseball season, the youth softball season, whatever it is that you're doing, we hope that you're getting able to play. We hope that we'll have better days ahead in terms of the weather. And you go out there and build champions, pour into the lives of these young boys and girls and men and women that you are helping to mold and shape. And we hope that you personally just enjoy and soak up the coaching life. God bless you all.